Did you know that more than 90% of people are scared to admit their mistakes? They fear being judged, they fear looking weak, they fear not being taken seriously. But here's something powerful that most people never realize. When you admit your flaws, people often admire you more, not less. Not with pity, but with genuine respect. It doesn't make you look weak. It makes you look honest. Imagine you're giving a speech and you stumble on your words in the beginning. Pause, take a breath, and say, "Wow, nerves hit harder than I expected. Give me 1 second." Then you smile and continue. Does that make people lose respect for you? Not at all. The people you trust most aren't perfect. They're just real. They're the ones who can say, "Hey, I messed up yesterday," or "I've been feeling off lately." People trust them because they feel human. We're all hungry for real. When a ceramic bowl breaks, they don't hide the cracks. They fill them with gold. The broken lines become part of the design, part of the object's identity. It becomes more valuable than it was before. You just need to be truthful. You need to be present. You need to be willing to say, "I'm still learning," or "That was on me," or "I don't have all the answers, but I'm trying." That's not weakness. That's character. If you feel like it, leave a comment. Tell me, what is one thing you've learned to accept about yourself that used to make you feel ashamed? More beautiful not despite the cracks, but because of them. You don't erase them. You highlight them. You integrate them into your story. And sometimes, it makes you the strongest person in the room. That's what it means to own your flaws. People don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be real. The version of you that stumbles but keeps going, that doubts but still shows up, speaks the truth even when it's uncomfortable. You say, "This is where I broke, and here's how I came back stronger." And instead of making you question them, those words make you trust them more. Because honesty brings closeness. Closeness builds strength. He said his voice would shake, his hands would sweat, but he didn't hide it. He talked about it, and he kept showing up. It could be, "I don't know how to do this. Can you show me?" Or, "I was wrong about that. I've learned since then." Or even, "This is something I'm still working on, and I appreciate your patience." You don't need to overshare. You don't need to perform vulnerability. You just need to show up as yourself. Over time, that transparency made people respect him even more. Not just as a leader, but as someone they could relate to. He became known for his poise, but that poise came from owning his fear, not denying it. In fact, it makes them root for you. Why? Because they've been there too. You just gave them permission to be imperfect. And you turned a slip into connection. But within hours, he released a statement. "I answered that question completely wrong." Halfway through, she forgot one of the key slides and felt the room go quiet. When you speak about your flaws from a place of panic or shame, people feel uncomfortable. But when you speak from a place of calm clarity, it builds trust. You're not asking for pity. You're showing people you're honest and growing. That's a magnetic quality. Instead of panicking, she said, "I've just realized I missed an important point. Let me walk you through it now, because it matters." Online, it's all perfect lighting, perfect vacations, perfect smiles. And when we scroll through it, we start to feel like we're falling behind. Like something's wrong with us for not being as polished, as joyful, as stable as everyone else looks. But we're comparing our unfiltered lives to someone else's highlight reel. And the truth, even the people who look perfect are struggling. They're just not posting it. She didn't rush. She didn't apologize 20 times. She corrected herself with clarity. Afterward, her manager said, "That was impressive." He didn't get defensive. He didn't sugarcoat it, just owned it. Not because he was flawless, but because he had the courage to be publicly accountable. You stayed composed and clear. Even when things went sideways, she didn't hide the mistake. She owned it with presence. "I'm grateful it was asked because it helped me learn." And you know what happened? People respected him more. Confident, human. We're raised to think strength means having it all together, that the appearance of certainty is more important than the truth. So we hide our fears, bury our insecurities, and polish the outside. We stay quiet about the things that scare us. It shows you're not running from your truth. One person shrugs it off, blames the process, avoids eye contact. Another says, "That was on me. I missed it. I've already made changes to make sure it doesn't happen again." Which one do you respect more? it's always the second one. They sense when something's not fully real, because taking ownership of your flaws is a form of leadership. It shows accountability. It shows growth. We act like we know what we're doing, even when we don't. And over time, that performance becomes our identity. But here's the truth. That act of hiding is what actually makes us appear less confident, not more, because people can feel it. Imagine you're working on a team and someone makes a mistake. Take Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. Now let's talk about something most people wonder. What if admitting weakness actually makes me look weak? A junior designer was asked to lead a client presentation for the first time. Here's where it gets important, because how you admit your flaws really matters. There's a big difference between, I'm terrible at this, I always screw up, I'm not good enough. And this part is a challenge for me, but I'm working on it and improving fast. One makes you small, the other makes you real, strong, self-aware. Let me give you a simple example. Here's another real-life story. This is what makes the difference. We do this in everyday life too. Think about your closest relationships. But here's the problem. Social media has trained us to do the opposite. Ironically, the ones who do show their real selves, their anxiety, their uncertainty, their journey, often create the strongest communities. There's a beautiful Japanese art form called Kintsugi. One more example. In the early days of his career, Barack Obama was open about his fear of public speaking. You don't need to be flawless to earn people's respect. So here's what you can do starting today. Say one honest sentence. It's just one. Because the truth is, the more you accept yourself, the more others will accept you too. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who's been too hard on themselves lately. Because being real doesn't make you weak. It makes you unforgettable.